Pardon my French, but right now something that we all need to be very concerned about is, and I wrote it down to get it right, the Countering Foreign Propaganda and Disinformation Act. It's a piece of legislation that was sponsored by Senators Rob Portman, a Republican from Ohio, and Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, and also passed into law by President Obama, of all people. And if anyone has any doubt about corporate interests being the only priority in Washington, this is the perfect example. Because first of all, what this piece of legislation does, it shuts down the alternative internet media at will. So if some people disrupt a little bit too much, the government gets the right to shut them down. It also basically, when we know that, right now corporate donors control politicians, journalists who are paid by big corporations to do journalism that is not so much journalism. Those people want to have access, they practice access journalism, so they get body to get to interview, politicians. So we're already in the context where the relationship between the media and politicians is somewhat incestuous. Now we get, the corporations already have what they want, which means basically no regulation. They don't have a fairness doctrine like they used to have, or used to have to comply to, I should say. And this basically regulates everyone who is not on the side of the corporate media. And I have a real problem with that. I have a real problem also with the fact that there is no such thing as a Republican or a Democratic position on what matters. Everyone, not everyone, but the vast majority of the members of Congress voted in favor of that piece of legislation. There are a few exceptions. Senator Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts voted against it. Good for her. Senators Rand Paul and Ted Cruz voted against it. Good for them. I'm not a libertarian, but I have to say, I prefer a libertarian that has, stands for something than for a corporate Democrat who stands for nothing. And an example of that, Senator Al Franken. I am a big fan of Senator Franken. I like him as a comedian. I like him as a politician, but I have more and more issues. Senator Franken voted voted in favor of this piece of legislation. I don't know why. Maybe if we look at his corporate donors, we might find the whole story behind that. But anyway, this is what's going on, and I think that is one more reason for us to really talk about issues, because the corporate media is not going to do it for us.